Good afternoon. How are you doing today, Timothy?
I'm doing phenomenal, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. Welcome to Real In Films. We're gonna talk about the film "Till Death Do Us Part." Are you super excited that we're close to the release?
I am, man. I worked on this movie for a year, off and on. I mean, really spent a lot of time in post, and it's something that I'm very passionate about. It's something I had a good time doing, and I'm excited that it's coming out where everyone can see it now.
That's amazing. So Timothy, I wanted to ask because it's the first initial question that I had in my mind. Did you get to film in Puerto Rico? Because there's a lot of like flags around and everything. Did you get to go to our island?
I wish. I went to Puerto Rico about 6 months before this, right? And I
Okay.
saw everything was beautiful. And so when we got the script, we were like, yeah, let's rock and roll. We did do some B stuff there, but the actors are literally all in LA,
Oh, okay.
so we tried really hard to match because we I was there and I loved it, man. I can't wait to show. I want to shoot there like really bad. Natalie had actually done a movie there with Bruce Willis before this one, and she was telling me too, like, hey, I would love to do that. So the plan was to go to Puerto Rico, but then life happened, so we had to fake Puerto Rico here. But the fact that you had to ask me that is good because that means we did an okay job at least. So I'm glad.
I'm gonna be honest, the just seeing the scenes, like I don't give that much details for the audience, right? Just seeing the scenes, I was like, in myself, I was like, which beach is this from Puerto Rico? I haven't seen it before, so I was super excited when I saw the flag and everything. I'm like, I have to ask, if he did film in our island, but I hope. I hope that you get to make a film or a series here in our island. It's super gorgeous and fun. So
Beautiful place.
I wanted to know, Timothy, throughout this time, while filming, because you did mention that you were like kind of like on and off of the project, were there any like hiccups or walls that you had to like try to force them out, like that you could be able to finish your project?
There's always challenges with every movie. With this one in particular, one thing for me is we shot on this like 100-foot yacht when we were shooting the Jason Patrick scenes, and this
Hmm.
big yacht. But unfortunately, I threw up about 40 times, because I was super seasick, and it was so hard because the boat is literally going. If you look at the background, the water is going like this because we're going against and we're chasing the sun,
Hmm.
to get it perfectly. So we're hitting, and I'm looking at a monitor. So since the camera's on the floor, the actors aren't moving, just the water in the background, but I can feel the boat. So it just had me really seasick. So that was one challenge. The other one is, 75% of this movie takes place at night. So the night shoots were intense, and intensely brutal. And we weren't shooting where we had long nights. It was like not getting dark till 8 o'clock at night. And, the sun was coming up at 6. So we had shortened nights as well. So we had to compact it. But, so the actors were getting tired. We were having to push, faster shoot days, not 12s. We were having to run 10s. So there was, for sure, there's definitely a lot of challenges, but I feel like it was rewarding at the same time. So I'm happy with everything.
Yeah, I wanted to, touch upon that the fact of the night scenes. I did notice that you have a lot of like different type of lights. I saw a lot of greens, a lot of reds, depending on like the situation. What was it like? Was it your idea, the fact to have like different lights instead of having your normal like bright the normal like spotlights that they use
Yeah.
to for the scenes? Was it your idea to just have that those colors to just mix in with everything that's going on those night scenes?
It was, yeah, definitely. It was my idea. And then my DP, Pablo Diaz, and then Marcos Quito. We've all worked together several times. So right off the bat, when Pablo and I first started talking to him, he said, what's your look and style for this? What are you thinking? And I'd already sent him some color palettes right off the bat, thinking about going with the, intense blues, with some of the greens, mixing colors together. And then we started talking about rooms and ideas, and a certain room would be colored this color, and this room would be that color. But we had always talked about using practical lights throughout and figuring a way to make it feel with the horror color tone palettes, even though there was action and stuff going on with neon lights, with lights that make it look cool. But, one of the challenges, there's no neon signs, right? So there's no, you have to have a light source for this to come through. So we put it throughout the house where it felt like it was in a subtle way, where it was coming from like a cabinet, or it was coming from an ice sculpture. And we added all these things to make it feel like that.
Okay, that's amazing. What one of the things that caught my eye was, is you rarely see this in films, and if you do see it, is very very light. I did notice that you had this back and forth from past to present on the film. What it was, it something that you wanted to bring to the audience, to have the idea of like, okay, so this is the question that you're seeing throughout the cast and the characters, and this is the why it's going on.
Yeah, that was something that was written in the script from the beginning, and it was a challenge because the movie at its core is, it's a runaway bride, a home invasion film, right? And you're going from all this crazy stuff happening to then having to cut to these more serious scenes that are helping tell us the why and the backstory, right, of what's going on. And you have to the challenge is you don't want to lose the audience during that. You want to keep them engaged. And you also want them to, while they're watching the home invasion story, maybe forget about this part, and then you come back and you wrap it around. So it's obviously and always a challenge anytime you're juggling all the things I was in this film, because it's not just a horror movie. It's not just an action movie. It's not just a comedy. It's a combination of all of these things already. And then I've got a flashback and a present forward. So the movie's got a lot of things going on. So it's a challenge to juggle it, but we did our best.
Oh yeah, I gotta say, having that feel that it's horror, and then you have the comedy aspect or the comedy feel, plus the action sequences as well. The film gets that proper balance all around. So, I really enjoyed that factor, that you don't only have all of this like seriousness going out around the whole film. You have that comedy relief as well on it. So it's amazing. Plus with one of my friendly faces that I saw in the film. If let me see if I can find his name. But one of the guys is a familiar face for me in other films, and I just loved him 100%. I don't remember his name, but I will. I
What did
will
he
be.
play? Which
Uh,
character?
he was the in one of the scenes, he's like, there's one scene that they're like all talking about that, oh, we remember it was a wedding, we can't bring our gear, and he's like, but I did brought my gear, but I left
Oh
it in
yeah,
the van.
Orlando Jones. Yes, Orlando
Yeah,
Jones. Yeah, he's great. He
he's
was fun.
great.
And he's, we had to like actually we did even more scenes with him because he's just an iconic like guy, and he's very funny and very talented. And so we were trying to keep the balance where it was, he had some comedy, but he didn't, and he was delivering dry. So yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed Orlando's performance. He's a great actor.
I actually enjoyed all of them. It was really great, the aspect of the film and everything. But I have one final initial question. What other projects you have upon promoting Till Death Do Us Part, and where can the people see it, and how excited are you that we're like a couple of days close for release?
Yeah, I'm excited. We're very close. August 4th, exclusively in theaters. So it's opening up in theaters across the country. It's a limited or an indie release, so it's not getting 2,000 screens. So the screens are in the hundreds, but it's still, people are able to see it that way and the way we made it. So that's always that makes me happy, because no matter if it's 10 people in the theater, 3 people, or 100, it's the way that we made the movie, and people get to see it and really focus on the big screen. So I think that's, super cool. And I'm very happy about that. And so I'm very excited. As far as other stuff, I've got a few things coming up. I can't really say a whole lot, but one of them's a classic tale of, a movie that's, a very classic tale is all I can say. It's a book, and I'm excited to jump into that. And, I've got a few other projects coming up, and, yeah, I'm hoping that everyone will love this enough, because I would absolutely love to make a part 2. This was a friggin' fun world to live in. We set it up already, and there's just so much that I could do with this. And, when I say I had a fun time being able to be very creative on this film, that would be an understatement. You know, I had a blast being able to just, you know, have the actors trust me, say, hey, try this, let's do that. And, you know, just doing cool stuff.
That's amazing, Timothy. Really, thank you very much for giving us the time to speak about Till Death Do Us Part exclusively in theaters at on August 4th as well. I hope that we get to see you here in Puerto Rico.
Yes, sir. I hope I get to shoot a movie there. Thank you so much.
No,
Talk soon.
thank you. Bye bye.